All right, Impact Wrestling. Sorry, if I'm going to blink, I apologize. Unfortunately, today I didn't think about taking my allergy medicine when I went out today. And I went past a whole bunch of trees that even though don't have much on it, got something on it. And now my eyes are itching like crazy. Why did New York have to get so warm so early? Like the last year, the same thing. Ugh. Anyway, what did we get here in Impact Wrestling? As you see from the title, it felt rushed. There were several things here that made no sense. It looks like it was being rushed. Now, I'm going to be honest here. Due to the fact I am working on something, and I'm working on a music video, okay? I'm telling you right now, the music video I promised I was going to do for TNA Impact Wrestling, I'm working on it right now. I might have it done by next week or week after. I'm still trying to figure out some of the things I want to add to it. So I'm just saying I'm working on it now. Hopefully you'll like it when I make it. I haven't done it in quite a while due to the fact of a lot of trouble I've been having for the last couple of years in New York. It's not been good. So it's the reason why I haven't made no intros or anything. Ugh. Now my nose is itching. Anyway, if I'm lucky enough, I will have it done by next week. And you will see it and hopefully you'll like it. If not, I understand. It's been a couple of years since I made anything. So, there we go. But when you look at this show, I'm telling you right now, it feels rushed. It feels like whoever booked it, and we know whoever these are, there are about 5 people involved, not one telling 5 people the direction they want. It is 5 people who are probably debating between each other what would be the best thing, and the one who's supposed to be on top is saying, well, okay, do whatever you want. This is a result of someone who's not in the wrestling business not giving a direction. Now, mind you, when you look at production halfway through the show was crap. The other half seemed to be a little bit better. And then if you guys didn't notice like I did, they were doing a good amount of advertising for the app. Yeah, TNA app, they're kind of pushing a little bit. Also, usually the advertisement like they normally would do it, when you go to a commercial when you're on Access TV, you'll see the advertising there, and then they'll go to the show. No. Now, they did a segment with Crazy Steve, which I'll do right now, and then they go to the advertisement, and then they go right back to it. They don't normally do that. I think that might be a mandate from the Prez to push the app more so we can get more money. That's just me. But let me start with Crazy Steve and PSO. Crazy Steve comes out, say 1/3 into the show, or halfway into the show, and he put out his accolades and taking out Tommy, taking out Rhino, and making it clear there's nobody on my level. No one even comes close. The lights go out, which I felt was the wisest thing to do. And showing the lightning of PCO was also the right thing to do. And then you had them face one another. I say that was well done. That was well done. But the problem here is this. As it's well done for Steve, and I'm saying it, Steve. It's got to be Steve. I know I said Crazy Steve, but I have to say Steve. This is what I want. I'm just being clear about it. It's got to be Steve. But seeing Steve and PCO, interesting. Seeing how they got it here is interesting. But what happened with Khan? One match. PCO wins. Now it's over with Khan. Like I said, rushed. It could have been set up for the next Impact Plus show. If you're not going for the pay-per-view, at least the next one Under Siege, you could have set that up with PCO and Khan. And I think that's what they should have done. That this feud should not be over. At least it would give something for Khan to do, but that's just me. Opening of the show, Mustafa Ali versus a very game and very angry Chris Sabin. And we had a good match. Sabin decided before that match happened he was going to take out security, which he did. Now, Ali did win the match, and I'm not surprised about that. He has to win. I don't think they should drop it like this on an Impact show. They shouldn't. It shouldn't be dropped. But I'm going to tell you this, that they're going to have to move away from Sabin eventually. They must, because here's the deal. You're going to make Ali feel important, counting if he's staying, because we don't know how long a contract with him is. It could be 6 months. It could be a year. Look what happened with Naomi. Former Trinity, the real woman Trinity, who, if I'm right, at this time is eating shit and liking the taste of it, because what happened with her and Mercedes, she goes back to there. They got nothing for her to do except maybe help Bailey, but it's never going to be the focus about Trin. Trin, I'm saying Trin now because I do love the woman. I know she's a good woman. But she should have never left TNA, or better yet, she should have left TNA and go to AEW and be with Mercedes. That would have been the best thing. Go and be with Mercedes, or stay in TNA and ride out what's going on in TNA, and then find out what's the deal here, if TNA is going to be all right or not, and just had an extension of her contract. That would have been the wisest thing for her, but she chose to go back while the company's in flux, and that's WWE. So here, it's just, we don't know how long Ali is going to stay. Like with Trin, like I said, we don't know how long she was going to stay, and she chose to go back, where I think she's paying for it now. But that's just me. Next, Ace Austin versus Kazarian. Let me give it to you. Like Kaz, I'm going to say this. Oof. Woo, my eyes are itchy. Kaz, in this situation with Eric Young, the person that needs to be involved in this, it's got to be Eddie Edwards. Eddie needs to talk with Kaz and eventually let him join the system. That's where he should go. But we don't know when they're going to pull that trigger, if they're going to pull the trigger, when they should pull the trigger. I know that sounds a little roundabout, but I got to say that because it makes the most sense. He needs to work with the system, but he needs Eddie to bring him in. But we don't know if, with the current writing team, they're going to bring him into the system, or they're going to leave him alone as the king of TNA, which he should not be the king of TNA. He should be working with the system. He makes the best sense to work with them. But will they pull the trigger on him? We don't know. It's like the chicken and the egg. Now, he did it by sub. He won the match by sub. He beats up on Bay and Ace, and pretty much Eric Young comes out to save him. But they really need to give that little interaction eventually between Eddie and Kaz. They must. Moving on. Now, I'm going to be honest here. Due to the fact of what I've been working on, because like I said, I am working on the music video for this company. I'm working on the TNA Impact Wrestling video. A little bit like I don't want to give any hints of what I'm making with it. You will see it for yourself, but due to the fact I already have insomnia, and the fact that I am now, something just went click, and now I gotta do it. I haven't been sleeping correctly, so when AJF and Joe Henley's match came out, I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep. It's the reason why I'm not doing this earlier. Sometimes I can get it all done much earlier than normal, but I had to find a place, an alternative, to see a replay of it because I wasn't going to go by a dirt sheet of what happened. I had to watch it. Now, here's the thing. This was a situation where it was not rushed. It was done well. Now, I'm going to say this. I want you guys to hear me. I am not against AJF. AJ Francis, I'm not. But I'm going to tell you this. The way he worked the ring was not that good. And Joe Henley is not that good with him. They don't have very good chemistry. You could tell from most of that match. It was not very good chemistry. On top of that, that move where he runs at the corner, going like this, run at the corner, trying to do a knee or knees to the face, and then does the flip and lands. This is going to be one of the few images I'm going to put into here because since I'm tired and I don't want to take an hour or so to do this video. I'm sorry, guys. I normally would put images in. I'm only going to put in just maybe this one. You can see AJF when he does that flip forward and lands outside the ring. he almost landed on his ass. I know I got that image. It's in my face. Look at that shit. Why does he do this? Instead of trying to do the fundamentals of wrestling to prove that he's more than just a flash in the pan or just some guy, he's doing this. And it's wrong. And he's saying, what is it? What? After he does it. After almost landing on his ass, legitimately. He should never did it. I'm not against AJ Francis. I'm not. I want to see him succeed. I want him to show that next to being a great talker, next to having good character, because he can sell his character, he's a good talker. In the ring, he's got to be something different. He's a big man. You got to do things, in a sense, there are two types of big men, guys. You got one big man who can move incredibly fast, like Angelo Dawkins, like a Lance Archer, like who else is a really good fast big man? I'm not going to say like Big Bill. Big Bill is not a very agile guy. He's a strong guy, but he's not super agile. But guys like that. And then you got the other type of big guys, like the big boss man, like I forgot his name. It's been so long. But several different type of big guys, like A-Train, that are large. They could be fast, but they're not agile. You got the guys who are big, who are agile, and the guys who are big and strong that could be fast, but not agile. And AJF is not agile. He looks awkward, and he should not be doing it. I'm not trying to insult the guy. I know if he saw these saying, boy, shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck and do whatever I want. And I understand that. But as a wrestling fan and as a very humble reviewer, I am giving honest criticism. Dude, if AJ Francis was watching this, I'd say, dude, I'm proud of you that you did not let what happened in WWE turn you off from wrestling. After what they were doing to you, like Michael Cole, even if it was just for fun, I know it ate at you. But you did make a mistake. You are a very big man, you're a strong man, and you're a fast man, but you're not a very agile guy. That's not meant to be an insult. You can't be all around everything. There's always some strengths and weaknesses to anyone, no matter what. When I was still able to run, I was fast, but I wasn't agile. I could run. I wasn't the fastest runner, but I could run. But I'm not an agile guy. I'm just not. I'm not a big, strong guy, but I got good, at least at the time, I had good endurance, and I was fast. So, taking into account, something you need to come up with. You need to rework your style to work with your strengths as well as your limitations. And as AJ Francis, if he was watching this, you should know better than anything. You've done many things I could not do. And I understand you want to expand yourself, but you almost, in the May 14th taping that has been shown, you almost literally landed on your ass. And you could have actually hurt your tailbone. And I'm not telling you can't do it, because you're going to do it no matter what. And I'm saying this also to everybody else. He's going to do it. But as a guy who sees how people work, it's better he does not do that anymore. Because he's just not an agile guy. He's fast. He can be strong. But he's just not agile. And in the end, next to a chair, next to nailing the ref, then grabbing a chair, failing, and getting a drop kick to the face from the chair, we got Rick Swann coming out because Joe and AJ grabbed a chair, and you could see picking him up, saying, what the hell are you both doing? What the hell are you doing? Don't do this, and nails Joe Henley. Here it makes sense. There's no rushing this. Joe had been messing with AJF. AJF has been trying to get Rick Swann to join him. And now Rick Swann, probably something they may have set up on Explosion, finally decided, you know what? I'm going to join you. So I understand this. This makes sense. But guess what doesn't make any sense? The next thing. You got Josh Alexander coming out and talking about Hammerstone. I don't know why I say Hammer Fist. Maybe I'm thinking about Marvel. Too soon. But anyway, let me give it to you like this. When you look at Josh, talking about Hammerstone, saying that what you did, that was just, no, I don't like that. Come out here and deal with me. I would have understood Hammerstone not wanting to interact with him yet, not wanting to fight him again, wanting to fight somebody else, wanting to be in the ring and then beat someone in the ring so it gets more for himself, because we've only had 2 matches. He lost the first match, then he joins TNA, and then he had to cheat to win because he wasn't beating Josh. I would have seen him say no, and then they start building the story that way. What did we get? Dango coming out. Well, actually, you get Pudius, and you get Alpha Bravo coming out, and Bravo's saying clearly, the only reason that you lost that match is because Dango softened you up. He says, really? Me getting softened up by Dango? And Dango tries to jump him. And the kicker here, he throws Dango out. He starts messing with Pudius, and then we get the Director of Authority saying that we're going to have a match right here, right now. But instead of it being Dango and Josh, which make the best sense, no, it's Pudius and Josh. And within a minute, within maybe 30 seconds, and I'm giving it a lot more than what it was, Pudius taps out to a freaking... Seriously? That was my wall. I got hollow walls. Seriously? You're sacrificing Pudius instead of Dango, who would not get hurt from this, to make sure Hammerstone and Josh continues, when you have booked Pudius as unbeatable, the unbeatable monster of this little group of Dango, Pudius, and Alpha Bravo. Really? This make no sense. Why would you rush Pudius getting pinned? In this word, submit. Not just pinned, submitted. He didn't just get pinned. He got submitted. This booking was bad. Seriously bad. And this shows you, as I've said earlier, you got 5 possible different people talking and debating on how to deal with storylines. Not one person that's going to give guidance to 5 where they can come up with an understanding, and then that one person gets all that together and he says or she says, okay, let's go with that, or let's go with that. No, you got 5 people who's debating, and the boss over them says, well, whatever you say, as long as you make us money. Because that's what it is. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. I'm saying it right now. If they don't get someone who's going to be able to focus these people to be able to know what's the best way to focus on these storylines, we're going to see really confusing booking that is going to be bad, and it's going to piss people off. Now, that reminds me. I have to do this. Stefan, you know who you are. I have to say this, ladies and gentlemen. I know not many people care about this wrestler who was on the roster, but it looks like he's gone. I know you're not going to care. Many of you don't. But one wrestler doesn't seem to be there anymore, and that is Johnny Swinger. The swingman, the comedic aspect of TNA doesn't seem to be there anymore. Now, my friend saw Sacrifice. He was still watching it when he checked the website to see if Swinger was still on the roster, and he's gone. He's been removed from it. And he was very, very upset. And I did warn him, if anybody had watched me talk about Swinger before, I warned this gentleman that this was coming. I said it. And what I said in my comment with him, clearly, I warned you. They overused him. Let's make it clear. I know he asked me, could you make a video separate and all the stuff that's done with Johnny Swinger? Well, I know you want me to, but I'm going to be honest here. Due to the fact of what I said in that comment saying they overused him, a lot of the work he did, no matter how much you loved it and made you laugh, a lot of other people did not like it. And the kicker here is that I'm trying to understand the booking of people. And a lot of his booking was not done correctly. In many cases, it was just dropped. Look, the Road to 50 was just dropped. Wrestle House, even though it was a great show they did didn't really give him anything after that. Swingers Palace had some good moments, but it didn't really give him anything. Swingers Dungeon, when it came to Ziggy Dice, didn't really give a lot with it. Every time when they did something, they would drop it. It would be going somewhere, and then they would drop it. So you wanted me to make a video? I'm not going to do it. Because in many cases, almost everything he did was just started, looks like it's going somewhere, and then they would drop it. The only thing he didn't mess up on, or actually the creative team didn't mess up much, was Throwback Throwdown Thursdays. Well, in other words, Throwback Throwdown with the Impact Professional Wrestling Federation, because that was a one-off, like Swingers, like Wrestle House, the second one. That was a one-off, but it should have gave him something, but it didn't. So I will not be doing it. I'm sorry. The majority of his work, I'm not against him. He did great work, but it never went anywhere. No matter how much you loved how funny it was, almost all of the stuff he did, the road to 50 wins, he would have got a shot. It never led anywhere. Wrestle House, good standalone show, but it never gave him anything afterward. Then when it came to Swingers Palace, it never went anywhere. When it came to Swingers Dungeon, it never went anywhere. Training Ziggy Dice, that didn't go anywhere. It was started, but it didn't really give him anything. In the end, no matter how good you love him, he didn't get anywhere. Not by his fault, it was by creative. So I will not be doing it. Let's move on. All right. We get, how can I say this? Spitfire versus an outside team. Thank you. I believe, what were they called? Moss and, what was the name of them? Moss and Black up against Spitfire. Now you had MK Ultra come out with my woman, my baby, mine. Killer Kelly's mine. She's mine. You guys can have everybody else. And understand, a lot of these women are damn good looking. They are. But Killer Kelly's mine. She mine. If she wants someone so old as me. But she mine. But we got MK Ultra, where it's kind of confusing because they were already showing problems between each other. And then you get Decay, which I understand they want to be there. And then we get this match. And clearly, this was a bit of a rushed match. It was less than 5 or 6 minutes, maybe up to 6.5 minutes. Ended quickly. And it felt like it could have been more. I felt like maybe MK Ultra should have said something. Or DK should have said something. Maybe even Spitfire could have grabbed the mic and said something. So you had 8 women out there, 4 teams, one of them that's not on the main roster, and 3 of them that are, and you didn't give us a promo after the match was over. You didn't give us something from MK Ultra. You didn't give us something from DK. And you didn't give us anything from Spitfire. Hell, I would have taken something from the Jobbers. But nothing to make the women mean something. Now, we did get something when it came to the last match, and that was before the match, and that came from Tasha Steelz. She made it very clear. In that triple threat at Sacrifice, she didn't get pinned, and she's demanding a match between her and Jordan Grace, which I'm sure they're going to give us next week. But then you wonder, okay, we just got Tasha Steelz. What about anyone else? What the hell? Where's Gazelle Shaw? Where is Brookside? Where is the other women who are not part of the tag division? Where are they? And I'm going like, we just had 8 women out there. 2 of them are from the outside. 6 of them are from the inside. And we still got a few more women left. We got 1 Japanese shoujo wrestler, supposedly on Explosion. I'm sure we got another couple of women down Explosion. Why are they not being spotlighted? What's going on? And then, let's go to the final match. And that is going... Oh, almost forgot. I'm not going to forget, but almost forgot. Sound check. Since I never say much about sound check, I should be doing it. We see Alan Angels with a brace on his neck. And we see Ash of Elegance with the Iceman, and pretty much, it almost looked like you could see something interesting on her chest. I don't know if I got a shot of it. I probably don't. Yeah, I gotta say, you can almost look at one of her nips. She's wearing red, and it looks tight, and I think you could almost see one of her nips. But the point is, her third match is coming up. I'm gonna say this. Is this entertaining? Yes, to a certain extent. Because this is more character-driven work she's doing than it is ring work. And that is where people are going to finally say, okay, she sucks. Okay, she's an okay character. Okay, she sucks and she's a sucky character. Or an okay character and an okay wrestler. This is where we're going to start seeing it. Because we only saw her once, twice in the ring. Now we see her in the back, dressed to kill. You just want to take her home and make her yours, no matter if you're a man or woman. And we're getting another match. And Alan Angels is happy because he got to be near Ash of Elegance. I'd be happy near Ash. Who wouldn't want to be near Ash? I mean, and she's athletic enough that she can go and punch you in the face. So, I'll tell you, I want to see where this goes. I'm not a big fan of her, though. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm saying it truthfully. I'm reporting as fair as I can. Am I 100% sold on a character? No, it's only been her third time she's been on the screen. Am I sold with her wrestling right now? Somewhat, yes, because it is the style that she started to build in NXT. But due to the fact it's only her third match, it's hard to say has she improved dramatically from that. Is her character going to be more interwoven into her style? We see she's more aggressive. She talks a lot more. But what else can she do? She's done basically a swanton or two. She has done some front and back flips, which she normally does. But she's added in talking. She's added in screaming. And she's pounded people a lot more than what she used to when she was in SmackDown and Raw. So unless she's going to give us something more, she might have plateaued. I don't know yet. Final, 6-man tag. We got the Rascals and Macklin versus Speed Mountain. I don't know why. And Nick Nimitz. Now, camera work was still bad. If you guys love the camera work, that is mostly like this. Or we're looking at people like this when they should be like this. More power to you. As far as I'm concerned, most of that match was unwatchable. I'm being honest here. If I'm watching the back of people's heads when you know you got to switch from one camera to another and you're not doing it, that means you failed as people in production to make me interested in what the wrestlers are doing. So most of that match, like the other matches, was not that great. I'm making sure I didn't forget anything. If I did, I'm sorry. But you know what? It's understandable because with the camera work being done by TNA, I am very frustrated. I'm not lying. I'm frustrated. I want to see what's going on in the ring. If I was paying for the app, which I did Fightful, not the TNA app, I would be actually quite angry on the TNA app, knowing 100% that why am I going to watch this when only thing I'm getting is close-ups like this or this. Sorry. I don't want that. I want to see what's going on in the damn ring. So, more power to you if you like it. To me, it pissed me off. But what did we get? We got a good match. But then when the match was over and it was seeing the Rascals walk out on Steve Macklin because they got tired of him bossing them around and getting nailed in the face. And he takes the pin from Nick. I'm fine with that. They could have closed the show, but then they showed the system destroying all three of them. Trent, Speedball, and Nick. I think was a bit of a rush. And that's what I mean. This feels rushed. Why would you have the system attack now? Now. I don't think it should be attacked now. It should be later, several weeks or at least a month from now, because Steve Maclin is still going to be dealing with Nick. But now it seems that since the Rascals have walked away from Nick, that's it. It's over. Really? Really? You just ended it that quickly. I mean, we barely got any Nick Nimitz on TV because he's been in New Japan Pro Wrestling, won the Global Championship. And now, Nick Nimitz finally is in TNA again. He had one match of Sacrifice. He had one match here. And now supposedly it's over. And now the system attacks all three of them. For no reason. Because they want to just get it done quickly. This is what I'm saying. 5 possible different people who are trying to debate and book every wrestler there. And there's no direction. No one voice that will tell you we need to go in this direction. That person needs to go in this direction. Write it that way. That person needs to go in this direction. Write it that way. We don't got it. And I feel it. I feel the no direction. But this is just me. I've exercised my demon. Peace.